What's up, everybody? Yo, what's up, everybody? It's HBT, man. HBT is in the house. Hey, I'm not in the house. I'm in the car, guys. Hey, on the afternoon drive, going to pick up a friend. We got a couple things to do. I'm going to help him out doing a couple things. But, I just wanted to come on for a little while, hey, while I'm out and, do a little bit of podcasting, talk a little bit about wrestling. Guys, what we have coming up, we know I think it's the 18th and 19th, will be 2 days. We have WrestleMania coming up. Or is it the 19th and the 20th? Either way it go, there's 2 days of WrestleMania coming up. So I hope everybody's ready, man. It is going to be on and popping. We did have an independent show on the 19th. With an independent show on the 19th, but that right there is getting canceled because, hey, nobody wants to compete with WrestleMania, even though it might be some fans that come to our show. But for the most part, most people are going to be checking out that WrestleMania, man, straight up. That's just how it is. Let's see. Hopefully nobody calls me, guys, because I took my thing off silent. I had it on silent. Hopefully nobody calls me and interrupt this podcast. Hey. So, man, like I said, basically just here to talk about wrestling and the state of wrestling and what wrestling is doing now. As far as wrestling now, as far as WrestleMania season goes, I mean, these things come around so fast, you're not even ready for them no more. And maybe it seemed like they come around so fast because we are pretty much, I will say, bum rushed with so many different, pay-per-views of premium live events that you don't have time to breathe. You really don't have time to breathe because once you finish with one, you got another one coming up right behind it within a month. After that one, you got another one coming up right behind it, within a month's time. So, in my opinion, you just don't have the time, especially if you're watching both. You're watching WWE, AEW, and some people watch WWE, AEW, and TNA. So you're getting a smorgasbord of these pay-per-views or these premium live events. They just come at you one after the other. And that's all you think about is, okay, we have SummerSlam coming up. We have AEW All In coming up. TNA may have something coming up. And these things come up every single month, back to back, back to back, back to back. So you really don't have time to really think and capture what wrestling is really about. And wrestling is about storylines, guys. And if they can get you concentrated on just focusing on some big show coming up, then they do not have to put as much time into doing storylines and things like that. It's kind of crazy, man. But when it boils down to it, that's how it is. We don't have time to think of storylines. We have spots. It become, the storylines has become like a spot fest. Like, these wrestlers, a lot of these wrestlers out here, they do things in spots to try to pretty much rile the crowd, to get the crowd behind them or whatever. So that's what we have now. As far as these matches go, a lot of matches, they mediocre, and you may have guys do some flippity flop stuff, or you may have a chair spot in there somewhere, or somebody may go up under the ring ropes and pull out some foreign object or whatever to get the crowd riled up and go and hit one of your favorites. So that's what we have now. And basically, in my opinion, these premium live events, man, they have become like a spot fest for wrestling, for wrestling, for companies to pretty much get you off of concentrating on what's important. That the development that we want to see, the development of storylines. We want to see some kind of development, something that we can actually get behind. But when you have the things that they got going on today, where they just continue to inundate, just pretty much just put your mind on all these pay-per-views, then they got you. They pretty much got you, because you don't have time to think about, hey, what's going to happen with this storyline, and what's going to happen with that storyline. So they do that, and they put you on one or two things that's happening. So it's lazy booking, guys. When it boils down to it, you know, being lazy, not wanting to give the fans exactly what's needed to pretty much grow the business. And you know, and that's the way I look at it. Fans is not getting what they needed. They're not getting a smorgasbord of different stories, or seeing characters being built, or having time to see characters being built. You know, it's like a factory going in and out, in and out, in and out. And they have these big events all the time, big events. You know, we can have Money in the Bank one week, and then, hey, a few weeks later, what's coming after that? We got a SummerSlam coming up, or we have a Royal Rumble coming up right after that. We have these things, and then we have an Elimination Chamber coming up, and then we have a WrestleMania. But we have these things coming up, repeating one after the other. And one thing about these wrestling fans, man, they can tell you exactly in order, a lot of them. They can tell you in order where these things are going to happen, man, and when these things are going to happen, as far as these pay-per-views, these premium live events. And then when you look at, if you look at WWE, if you are a huge fan of WWE and you watch NXT and WWE, NXT always, you know, they will come up with I think they do only like 4. They don't do many, but they, 4 or 5 or something like that, maybe 6. But they will come up with 1, 2 right after that. So you never really have time to rest, and pretty much, you don't get the time to rest to see exactly what's going on with these companies, man. And WWE, AEW. Yeah, I'm focusing more on WWE, because that's what me and Chris pretty much lately, that's what we've been pretty much doing our shows on, is WWE. We haven't really been on AEW like that much, which I'm trying to get back to. But AEW, man, they do it all the time too. And I tell you what, that is a promotional thing for them. That is their tool, and that's what they've been living off of, man, for the past 4 years. Basically, AEW, they have been living off of their pay-per-views and what they're able to do with their pay-per-views. Because I mean, I will go ahead and say that their pay-per-views are outstanding, guys, for the most part. Now they've had a few duds, but for the most part, their pay-per-views have been very, very good. They're outstanding, man. In my opinion, I like them. I can't bad to say about the AEW pay-per-view, guys. Man, it looks like I'm looking into this thing, and maybe my camera's all blurry or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I need to clean it or whatever, man. But look, I'm looking. It looks blurry to me. But yeah, AEW, man, they have lived off of their pay-per-views, doing their thing, and they put together some great pay-per-views. But one thing about it is, they cannot duplicate on their TV shows. They, on AEW Dynamite, and we had Rampage, don't have Rampage anymore. AEW Dynamite, Rampage, Collision is pretty decent. Rampage is decent at times, but they cannot what is the word? I'm just going to say replicate. They can't replicate what they do on pay-per-view in what they, the same way that they're doing, as far as, they can't replicate AEW Dynamite and what they're doing on TV. They can't replicate what they're doing as far as their pay-per-views. Like I said, hey, man, those pay-per-views are outstanding. But, man, hey, it's wrestling, man, to really keep themselves in the spotlight. And basically they're keeping themselves in the spotlight with their own audience. Is to come up with these big live events, man. It's like every single month there's playoffs. When you look at it, these pay-per-views supposed to be like playoffs, and then you have something like WrestleMania is the big Super Bowl, and I think it's all in for the WWE, the Super Bowl. So it's like you have a constant tournaments going on to see who gets to that top spot. And like I say, the culmination of the whole year is supposed to be WrestleMania. And when it boils down to it, if you ask me, WrestleMania should be in December or something like that. I can understand they doing it, maybe, in the springtime when you get more people out or whatever, but it should be closer to the end of the year, November, December, so it can pretty much, it can pretty much garner the attention for the whole year. I mean, WrestleMania, it's like rewarding everybody for the work they did, for their body of work for the whole year. So in my opinion, it should be, like the granddaddy of them all, like Starcade, like, when Jim Crockett used to run Starcade. I think he used to run Starcade every, like a little bit after around Thanksgiving, or a little bit later, right before Christmas time, but he always ran it late in the year. And that's the way I think WrestleMania should be. I think WrestleMania started out that way. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they had it in the summertime. I'm not sure. But I know, but in my opinion, WrestleMania should be your coup de grace. And WrestleMania should be like your Super Bowl. It's it's a reward for everything that you did the whole year. So, I mean, if I was running it, I would change some things up. And I would put other things. I would change all my pay-per-views up, to tell you the truth. Except for SummerSlam, you definitely got to have that where it's at. But I would change everything up. But I would shorten those pay-per-views, man. I definitely would shorten it, because the bottom line is you're gonna make more money on pay-per-views or premium live events or whatever if you shorten it and you make them more important. Because to me, they took the importance out of it. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody, but my phone died, guys. And I should have known better. Hey, it's a hot day out here, and my phone, when it's in that window, it gets hot. It has did that several times over the years. This phone right here, I'm about to get a new phone and make sure that phone is not one of these phones that get hot. But this iPhone right here gets hot, man, and it died on me. What's up, Richard Hood? Richard Hood is in the house. I see you. My friend. But yeah, this phone right here gets hot, man, and it will die on you. But man, guys, I am glad everybody joined me, man. And for the ones who stayed here, yeah, I just wanted to let you know, yeah, my phone did get hot, and I'm not gonna put it back in the window right now. I'm just gonna hold it in my hand and pretty much talk a little bit more about wrestling while I'm on the way to pick up a friend of mine. But yeah, we need these pay-per-views to go back, man. We need these pay-per-views to pretty much go back to where they're spread out. Every 2 to 3 months. I used to like it when it was 3 months. You had about 4 a year. I used to love that. But yeah, at least 2 months apart. In that way, they have to concentrate on character building, and they have to concentrate on what is it? What I was trying to say? Character building and concentrate on storylines, which is very important. And I see a lot of people on here. I see Lucas is on here. Let's see. I see Christine Saucy Girl is on here too. I appreciate you, you two coming on too. And I know there's some other people on, and hopefully y'all are still on. But if not, I definitely understand. Like I said, I did lose power because, yeah, the sun. It takes this phone out. I don't know the reason, but I've had other phones that I used to do that. Used to pretty much put in my window and go down the road and be podcasting, and it did not affect those phones. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and get a new phone anyway, because this phone right here has been acting up. I done had it for a while. Just do not want to go ahead and get a new iPhone. I don't need to get a new iPhone, but might as well get it. What's that, man? Man, I don't have time for that, dude. What's that? I don't have time to stop for you, man. All right. Sorry about that. Some guy was trying to stop people on the road asking for $5. He's on a moped. I would have gave him $5, but I couldn't stop the car at that time. I had Amazon behind me, had some other people behind me. I just had turned, and that's a bad place to try to stop people and ask them for a little bit of money, man. Whatever. And he's out of gas. I'm pretty sure. His moped is out of gas, and he wants to get down to the gas station. Hopefully, somebody will stop and take care of it. If not, when I come back through, I'll go ahead and give him $5. I don't. He's in a bad spot. I can tell that. He doesn't seem like one of these people that pretty much do things like that. But he looked like he's in a bad spot. But when I come back through here, we'll go ahead and try to give him $5, get him back on the road or something like that. Man, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so as far as wrestling go, man, they need to get back to having these pay-per-views spread out. Hey, if you want to have classics, like back in the old school days, to where classics came from these pay-per-views. You have got to get it back to that, and that way you can, you can build a hunger, you can build the excitement of what's going to happen at the pay-per-views if you give it time to breathe. But hey, these wrestling promoters today, they have turned it around to where they don't even give you a chance to breathe. So if you don't give companies a chance to breathe, you can't build anything with that. As far as in wrestling go, man, you just can't. You cannot. You gotta make people hunger for that. All right, guys, man. Look, hey, I'm arriving at my friend's house, but I appreciate everybody coming in and everybody who stayed here. While my phone died and everything. You guys stayed on. Well, y'all are still on. I appreciate y'all still being here. Hey, but man, yeah, when I go back out, I am going to have to help this person out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and read these comments. Go ahead and read these comments. All right. All right, my man Lucas says I'm building Plant City, Florida, and howdy. All right. Lucas said I will comment more when I get home. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm getting phone calls and everything, guys. And like I say, anytime I get a phone call, you know, my, this thing will drop. So if you guys can hear me, hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me or whatever. So hopefully you guys can hear me. But yeah, anytime I get a phone call, this thing right here will drop. But yeah, I am here at my destination. So I'm gonna go in here and help my friend. But let me go ahead and finish up with these comments. All right. Richard said, Harry, what's up? Christine Saucy Girl says, what's going on, Richard? Hey, Harry, hope you're doing well. Safe travels to wherever you're going. Thank you. And Richard Hood said they only need 2 pay-per-views a year, SummerSlam and WrestleMania. To tell you the truth, yes. To tell you the truth, 100%. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in, guys. I will talk to you guys later. And, we're going to do this some more, but I'm going to talk to you guys later. But y'all stay straight up. Peace.